What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another WNBA video. Only one game on the slate for Wednesday, September 10th. So we're going to dive into my favorite play off of that game, and we're going to go over a player prop that I found in that game that I'm looking at as well. Now, guys, smash that like button down there for me if you can. Hit subscribe if you have not already. We're going to jump right into the mix, man. We're recording this one before our games tip off on Tuesday night, so we can't recap the plays that we put in for Tuesday. So we'll recap those plays, whatever we put in here on this game in our next video. So let's go ahead and jump right into the mix, man. It's going to be the Atlanta Dream taking on the Connecticut Sun. Dream are 14-point favorites in this one, total sitting at 158. This one really only matters from one side. We can scroll all the way down here to 11th place and see that's where the Sun are sitting, and we can see that they are eliminated from playoff contention. This is going to be the last game of the regular season for Connecticut. It's also the last game of the regular season for the Atlanta Dream as well. They currently sit in second place, right? They already clinched their playoff berth, but this second seed is still up for grabs, man. They got the Aces right on their tail, sitting a half game behind them. The Aces have two more games left to play. Now, if the Aces win out, no matter what the Dream do here, it does not matter, man. The Aces do hold the tiebreaker over Atlanta, but obviously Atlanta needs to win this game here and hope for a Vegas loss. And that's how we will see them lock up that 2 seed. And that 2 seed is important, man. You know, obviously home court advantage goes to seeds 1 through 4. But that 2 seed is going to give you home court advantage in the second round as well. If we look at these two on the season, man, let's look at the offensive rating right here. We can see the Dream coming in at second, right? The Sun all the way down at dead last, sitting at 13th. Defensive rating, the Dream second, the Sun third from last, down at 11th. And then for net rating on the year, the Dream coming in at second. Second across the board for Atlanta, offensive, defensive, and net rating, while the Sun are coming in dead last for net rating as well. Now, if we look at them in the first half, though, we can see the Dream, catapulting up to first for offensive rating, but they do dip a little bit for defensive rating, sitting at fifth. For net rating, they are coming in at fourth. Now, we do see the Sun make a little bit of a climb, right? Now, they're not climbing up to the top of the league or anything, but sitting more middle of the pack at eighth for offensive rating, sitting at seventh for defensive rating, and then coming in at seventh as well for net rating. That kind of leads me into this play that I'm looking at for this game. I'm going to be looking at the Sun in the first half, catching the 7.5 points. We can get that for a good price right now, -110 over there at ESPN Bet. If we look at these two on the season, right, look at all the games, we see the Sun hitting this at a 63% rate, while the Dream, they're only covering that 7.5 point spread at a 26% rate themselves. Now on the road, it drops even more down to 24%, while we see the Sun slightly go up just a notch to 67%. If we look at them in their last 5 games and stay with the Sun at home, Sun have covered this number at a 80% rate. 4 out of their last 5 times they have covered the 7.5 point spread. The Dream on the road, they have not covered this in any of their prior 5 games, right? A 0% hit rate for Atlanta. Now, looking at them in their last 10, it doesn't get much better, right? Only one time over those last 10 games have they covered this mark. Now, the Sun at home in their last 10, 8 of their last 10 times they have covered the 7.5 point line. Head to head as well, we can see that the Sun have covered this 100% of the time this season and dating back to last season as well. But obviously, this year, this is a totally different team for the Connecticut Sun. But the Dream have been a second half team all season long, right? And we can see that in the numbers, right? These are the last 4 games. Look how close these games have been in the first half: a 2 point game, 6 point game, 1 point game, 4 point game. Now let's look at these games, right, for the full game. The Dream blow them out in 3 of those 4 games. Now the Sun do come away with one victory here, right? But a 24-point win. So it's a 17-point win, a 25-point win for the Dream, right? So these all, they all start off close. And that's been the common theme so far throughout these games. So I like to go ahead and ride along with that trend, man. Take the Sun here, plus the 7.5 points. But I do ultimately think the Dream win this game, man. Obviously they need to get this win to secure that second seed, or have a shot at securing that second seed. And that kind of leads me into this player prop here. I did find a player prop that I want to talk to you guys about, but before we do, real quick, I want to talk to you about Epic Fantasy. It's a new DFS fantasy app that's going to end up dominating the game. Now, if you like player props, this is a great place to play. They offer better lines, better payouts than the competition out there, and that is just within their pick 'em mode, which you pick more or less based off player stats. Now, the real unique thing about Epic, the fact that you can actually go into the fade 'em section, man, and fade other players' entries. Now, if they get even one part of their entry wrong, you're going to walk away home with the bag, man. Go try Epic today. Use code GUYBOSTON, and they're going to match the first deposit up to $50. Link in the description as well as down in the pinned comment. That's Epic Fantasy. Make sure you guys go try that out today, which feels a little trappy, man. I'm looking at two plays for Nas Hillman. I can't lie. Like I said, they feel a little bit trappy. Something feels off here. Something seems a little fishy, man. Her points over 9.5. Sitting at a good price, minus 124 over there at FanDuel. We can see head to head, she has cleared this mark in 3 games in a row against the Sun. This one that she did not hit was earlier in the season. She was definitely in a smaller role at the time. That her role has grown as the season has gone on. She's moved into the starting lineup. And like I said, I mean, these 2 games here are right here in September, the 1st and the 8th, clearing this for 17 and 14 in back-to-back games against the Sun here. When we look at her in her last 5, she's hit this at 3 out of 5 times, hitting it at a 60% rate. Shooting 49% from the field, 44% from downtown in her last 5 games. You can see the Sun as well. It's not like this is a good defensive squad by any means, sitting at 12th, second from last in terms of points allowed to that forward position. And also be looking at Nas Hillman on her 3-pointers over 1.5. This is sitting at plus money, and that's just throwing me off even more, man. The Sun sitting at 9th for 3-pointers allowed overall, sitting at 10th for 3-pointers allowed to that forward position specifically. We can see in her last 5 games, she's hit this at an 80% rate. 4 games in a row as well coming into this game here. And we can see as well, looking at this insight from Outlier, she's exceeded this mark in 4 of her last 5 games when facing a team in the bottom 5 for 3-pointers allowed. And obviously, like I said, that is the Connecticut Sun, sitting at 9th overall. So yeah, man, both of these feel a little trappy. They almost feel too good to be true. I could understand if the Dream had things locked up and we were worried about if players were going to be playing significant minutes or if they were going to be finding some rest. But no, the Dream need this game, man. And even if it's a blowout, as it's been in 3 of these 4 games, we can see that she still will get up over that mark. For not only her 3-pointers, but for her points as well. So definitely, little trappy. Like I said, something's a little off here, but yeah, not sure that I'll get there myself, guys, but definitely thought that it was worth a look on both of these, worth talking about. Plus money on this one, man. It's so tempting. Not sure I can get there though. We'll see. That is going to wrap it up for today. Just the one game on the slate, just the one play officially going with that Sun first half plus the 7.5 points. Now we'll see if we end up throwing in those plays for Nas Hillman, either one of them or both of them or none of them. We'll see which way we end up rolling with that one. Make sure you check down there into the pin comment. It's going to send you over to the Guy Boston Sports website. And that's where you're going to find whatever I lock in officially for this game myself. And that is going to wrap it up, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Hope you found the content helpful and useful. And if you did, please don't forget to smash that like button down there. Hit subscribe if you have not already. And that will wrap it up, man. Hope you guys all cash out and have yourself a great Wednesday. And I'll see you back tomorrow for the next one.